So hello. So yeah, so that is there. Hope I am live now. Yeah, so I'm live. So sorry for that issues, and I'm live now. So welcome to day 4, last day, and we are good to go. And yeah, so we are good to go, and we'll start now. And today is the last day, and we are going to complete this react. There's a lot of things to cover. Actually, a lot of things are remaining here, and we are going to complete this. And this is a very important day, and this is a day. Last 2 days are the days which will give you a job, because the hooks are there, and you create a lot of hooks projects in your and showcase them on LinkedIn. You'll get a job. That's my guarantee. So that is something which you need to do. You all need to do. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay. Because we need to complete it. So this is something which we did yesterday, and log position and all. So let me see one thing. Okay, so there was one thing which was still remaining here, and let us do that first. And that thing was actually there is another thing in your hook, your use effect. One more thing is remaining, and we are going to do that first. So this thing which we have done, but there is one more thing, as I'm telling, which is remaining, and which is like a component will unmount, and that is a very important thing which is remaining. And for that, we are going to learn use effect with cleanup, because component will unmount is nothing but a cleanup code. So for that, what we are going to have, we are going to have another class like removing mouse container.js, mouse container.js I'm going to have. And actually this mouse container.js, this is this only we are going to showcase in the app.js. Let's save it. And this mouse container.js is there. This I'm going to show in here. Okay, what we are learning, component will unmount, the way in which the use effect can be used in the component will unmount way. We're going to learn about that. So let us do that. So this I've done the mouse container. Now I'm going to here the mouse container here, and here I'm going to have a const display comma set display equal to use state of true is there. Okay, so use state of true is there, control use state is imported. Now see what we are going to have here. Here button, and this button will be toggle display. This button will be toggle display, and we are going to show what here. Okay, let us do one thing. We are going to show this class mouse here first, okay, because I want to show the class mouse also. We are going to show this class mouse here. So toggle display is there, and toggle display, the on click will be the on click will be like on click will be happening, and it will call the set display is equal to not of display. Set display is not of display is there, and then a bit smaller. Okay, so this is the set display toggle display, and we are going to show the display and not the hook mouse, but I want to show the class mouse actually. Okay, so show the class mouse. I want to show it. So the class mouse I'm going to show, and the set display, see we are mismatches, and it doesn't matter. So by default the class mouse will be shown. Okay, and then when I click this, it will the display will be false and the class mouse should not be shown. Okay, so that is like that. And then for that, let me save it. See, I will save it. See, the toggle display button is there, and also the class mouse has been shown. I want to have one more thing here. This okay. So I will have a console.log of mouse event. So I'm going to have this console.log of mouse event. So mouse event is getting fired, and I'm going to have a console.log of here. Okay, so I want to show something. Okay, so now I will right click and inspect, and console is there. And see, it is telling some already, it is giving some error. And the mouse event is there. So mouse event will be happening. Every time I will move this mouse, the mouse event will happen. So this a lot of mouse events is happening. But see what happens if I press this toggle display. So what should happen generally? Toggle display, I should say this class mount should be unmounted. So this is known as unmounting. Some toggle display, it is not even unmounting it. Why? Okay, toggle display I've done because I didn't delete it. So toggle display done, and it is unmounted. The class mouse container is unmounted, and it is not even showing me. Okay, but if I come here, see, this mouse event is still firing. This mouse event is still firing. So it is not cleared properly because this mouse event is still firing because we never deleted the mouse event. This mouse event is still there. So because this log mouse event, it's an add event listener, we never removed it. So it is still there and it is working like this. Okay, so that is there. So now how to fix this thing? How to fix this thing? So to fix this thing, we are going to have this component will unmount. So there is something known as component will unmount. This runs whenever the component is unmounted. So I will do this windows.add event listener here, and even I will do a console.log of component unmounted or whatever unmounted code, something like this. I'll do save it. Right. So I have saved it, and let me refresh it again. So it has came again, and I'll come here and it will show this mouse event. And the moment I do toggle display component unmounted code, means this is run. See, I will come here, no more mouse event. So this is how we do in a class-based component. So this is how we do in a class-based component. So now we are going to do the same thing in a functional component. Okay, so for that I will have this hook mouse here. Okay, hook mouse is here, is there, and hook mouse will be shown. Okay, it's not refreshing. Hook mouse is shown. First thing, let me have a console log here first. Console.log of mouse event is there. Save it. Mouse event is there, and so see. So let me refresh it. So hook use effect is called, definitely it will be called. And then I'll go here and the mouse event is fine. Mouse event fire, mouse event is fine. Then I will do the toggle display, and this is gone, but it's still it will be fine. So and I got a big error also. There is a memory leak in the application. So this error also we get. So we have to implement the component will unmount code in the hook. So again, in the use effect, there is something by which we can implement the component will unmount code. Actually, this code is also there in the use effect only. So how to do that? For that, there is the logic is a bit different. We don't do anything here. Earlier we have seen we can do something here. So to do that thing, but we are not doing anything here. We're doing a return of, it is return of console.log of component unmounted code, whatever. See, and then we'll have the window.remove event listener, same thing, like remove event listener, I'm removing it. But this return, this special type of return, this function doing inside this use effect is the component will unmount code, is exactly similar to this thing, component will unmount code. This is how we do this thing. This is actually a very important code. Now I will again do this and I will refresh it. I don't know why it is asking for me to refresh. And see, it's moving, and then I will do the toggle display. Component unmounting code is called, and no more events. So this is how the we have seen the 4 ways of use effect. So these are the 4 ways in which the use effect works. So as you've seen, so there are a lot of ways for us to work with use effect. So use effect is something which is very important. So these 2 things which I have told, these 2 things are the most important thing in hooks: user state and use effect. And as I told, it is not that much big. The hook based React, it is very small. Okay, so that is there. And now the next thing which we are going to learn is the doing API call with use effect, because one of the main thing of use effect is to do the API call, because we've seen the API call we did do in component did mount always when the component is mounted in the did mount, because the API call is 99% of time it is done when the component gets loaded, only the first time, not other time it is loaded. So we'll do that. And for that, what I'm going to do this time, if you're done with fetch API previous time, so this time we're not going to do with fetch API, we're going to do with access, because you should know how to do with access. So access is actually much more better than fetch API. Install Axios, okay, install access is there. So it is a very small package, so it will be installed. Okay, so that is there. And now I will close this, and I will add a here data fetching.js, I'll do, and here ReactFCE, because it's a functional component. Okay, so ReactFCE I've done, and then this data fetching will be here. Data fetching is here. So data fetching is been shown, and we are going to do the thing. So here, first thing is that we are going to hit the famous JSON placeholder endpoint. So JSON placeholder post endpoint, which we always hit. So this post endpoint we are going to hit, and we'll get the array of object back. So for that, the first thing is that we have to mimic the way we are going to get. So const post comma set post equal to use state of this. Then here in the, as I've told, okay, let me get this also use state, and we have to do it in the use effect in the component did mount way. So this is very important. In the component did mount way only we have to do use effect like this. And how to do the component did mount way? To have a empty array. This is a component did mount way. Now we just have to use the Axios.get and this post endpoint, then dot then res is like console.log of res, and catch is like console.log of is there. So this, both of these things are there. So now after this return, we are going to show it here. So it is very easy to show. So I will come here and in another, why it is coming, UL is there, and then so we are going to get it in the post dot map. Actually, after this console.log, we should do the set post. Set post is actually something res.data. So I'll do the res.data, and then this I'll map through this post. So it will set it in the post. I'll map through it, and then I'll do post align like post dot title key equal to post dot id, like this. So key equal to post dot id. Now let me save it, and use effect is not defined. I always forget to do this thing. You have to import use effect also. Save it, and we are getting all the data. We are getting all the data, and the data is actually res.data, as I was telling. So because it is in the res.data, that's why we did it here res.data. So all the data have come, all the data has come. So this is how we do it, how we do the API endpoint. Okay, that is there. And now we will move to the next thing, which is the use context hook. So use context hook we are going to look. And the use context hook is, again, as I've told when I was doing the class-based concept also, the use context hook is exactly similar to the context thing there. And we are facing the same problem here when we have to pass data from one place to another. so we can have a lot of components in between. So to solve that issue, we use the context API. So context API we use for that. So let us make some changes now. So here, not changes, add something new. So again, we are going to see the same kind of example, but we are going to see how we do it with use context, and use context is even more easier than react.create context. Okay, so child.js, again we have the render props thing here also. So I'll have a child component, RFCE is there, and then here and component is there. Save it. Now I have the parent.js, parent.js is there, and the parent will call the child. And we'll call the child, and then I'm going to have the grandparent. Grandparent.js, and the grandparent will call the parent. Grandparent will call the parent. So again, it is like this, and finally we are going to call the grandparent in the app.js. Okay, and the child component has been shown. So this is like this is how it works. Now we have to create a context, and when I was doing the class-based thing also, at that time I told that we can create a context in the app.js also. So this is where we are going to create it in the app.js. So here we can create it like export const user context equal to react.create context, and there will be one error because it is not understanding why React is there. Earlier what used to happen in every React code, this import React on React used to come, but nowadays they are not showing that thing. And so this, as I told, we can create it here also, the user context, and we have to wrap the grandparent with the provider as always, and a user context or provider value. I don't want a value to be so much big, and I can have a value like this, being blue. I can have like this, and then the user context will, and here user context dot provider, and save it. So now we have to consume it, and as we've seen in the child, we have to consume, and we are first going to see the render process pattern, which is actually very difficult, but we're going to see, and we're going to make it more difficult so that we can use the other thing. Okay, so this is there, and the div I am there, and here I will do this, close it, and then okay, this user context dot consumer, the user context dot consumer, and user like this, and return. And maybe I'll show this h1 directly here. H1 child component with context is like user. Okay, so this happened, and it is coming as usual, it is coming. So now what we need to do, now we are going to complicate things. This render process pattern is already complicated. Now we're going to make it more complicated. What if I want to, because we have not seen this complication thing when we are doing the class-based thing, but now we are going to complicate things. So we are going to pass another value. So passing another value, there is no other way, means we have to create something like this, and I will make it a channel context, and this is react.create context. Okay, but we have to again wrap the grandparent. So I'll come here, and channel context dot provider value equal to the channel TWD. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. This help me to reach more people and create content like this type of content you won't find anywhere in the internet. Means every month I'm helping people to become web app developer, and I do have a lot of WhatsApp groups and all. There also I'm helping them. Whatever you have question, I will going to answer that. Okay, so that is there, and value is twd, and okay, so now I have to use this twd value also. So how to use that twd value? So here I'll go, and here the things get complicated. So once we have to have use this consumer again, so we have to wrap everything again, not here. First this user is there, and so first thing is that I will remove this thing because this is going to get more complicated. I'm going to remove this thing. So after that I will have a return here, and then in that return I can show that thing. I can okay, in that return, no, in that return, see, I also forget all this. In this return I will have this channel context. I will have this channel context. Okay, channel context dot consumer, channel context dot consumer. I'll have, okay, now inside this I will have the channel. Okay, channel I'll have. Now after this I can get access to both of them, okay, the user and the channel. Now again I'll have a return. Let me show it here only. Means I can show it in different also. H1 child component and child component and user channel is channel. Save it. So see, channel is also coming. So this is the way, but a very complicated way. So, and we are not going to use this way. So again, in the parent, we are going to use thing because we can, we are again omitting the grandparent, just like we saw in a class-based thing. Okay, so we are going to do that. So here, what we are going to do, we are going to have a even easier method. There we saw something like static thing, and that there was a lot of keyword there, but in functional component there is not a lot of keyword, and it is very easy. First thing is that I have to again import this thing. So I will go and again I will import this thing. Okay, again I will import this thing, and then we have a hook here, use context hook. So it is very easy to use. Const user equal to use context and user context const channel equal to use context dot channel context. So this is how you use, and this is how simple it is, and you can now directly use it. No other thing is there. So h1 use context, and you just have to give the user and channel, save it, and see it is coming. This is how easy it is. This code and this code, a lot of differences there. See, this provider you cannot change, it have to go like this, but this code can be made so much easier. This code can be in comparison to this. So this is how it works. This is how the context API in React works, and this is how simple it is. So that is there, and the next thing which we are going to see is the last topic here in the in our hook. And after that you have to do a lot of ReactJS projects and post it on your LinkedIn. So that is the only way to get a job. So after this we are going to do, and the moment some recruiters see that you're posting ReactJS project, but you have to know those things. It is not like that you're posting anything. No, we are going to have an interview round. Okay, so that is there. So after this, okay, so we're going to look into refs again. So let us look into refs, and here let me comment this out, and let me not delete it because this is the last thing is there, last topic is there. So but this is a bit different. So we'll again have that first we are going to see that focus input dot js, focus input dot js I am giving, and here RAFCE, save it, and focus input like this, save it, and focus input has been shown. So that is there, focus input is been shown. Now we are going to see the user hook, and user hook is there. It is like create ref. It is a lot like create ref. So we are going to see that, and for that, const input ref equal to use ref, and use ref is again a hook, and which I'm going to make as null. And again we can do the same thing which we have seen earlier, like the input thing we can do. And here I'll go here and input ref and type text. The moment I do this thing, I'm able to type in here anything. Okay, type in here anything, and now we are going to focus the input. And for that, there we use component did mount. Here we are going to use a use effect we are going to use, and use effect in the component did mount way. Component did mount way I'm going to use, and then input ref dot current dot focus I'm going to do, and now I'm going to refresh it, and the current dot focus is coming. So this is there, focus input is there. But now let us see some very interesting example for React hook, why it is required, user why it is required. So this example we've seen earlier also in the class-based thing, but there is some cases, and a practical case we're going to see in which this user hook is required. And for that, again, we have to go back to the class-based approach. So all the examples are like this only. So class-based, I'll go, and here I'll do class timer.js. I'm going to do class timer.js and RCC there, and class I removed default class timer. Okay, so it's just a timer class. So let us make some things here. Const, and I'll have a timer which will be 0. Save it. Now I'm going to have here inside this return, let me have it as a h1 class timer is this dot state dot timer. This is state of timer is there. So what we're going to have, we are going to have a timer here. So if I only show this thing, so I think the timer is not important. So class timer and class timer. So timer is imported, and it is shown like this, like. So I want to have a clock kind of a thing. Means it should update every 1 second. It should be. So how to do that? So for doing that, we have to have a component did mount. Component did mount will be there, and then this dot interval. So one thing to notice here is that I'm taking this dot interval, not some var or something, because I'm going to soon say why I'm taking like this. And this set interval is a JavaScript function. Set interval is a JavaScript function which is like set timeout. It is like set timeout only, but it is that it runs after any interval which you give. So I'm going to give 1 second. So this 1 second I'm giving, and it is going to run after every 1 second. And this is set interval is as I told, it's a JavaScript. So set it's like what, set timeout, what it's forward, or set interval is like that. It runs every 1 second. Okay, so now here every 1 second it is there, and I am going to change the state. Okay, change the state every 1 second, so that the timer it's shown like a timer. So this dot set state, and if the state is changing so fast, this is a perfect use case for prev state, because or else it will not update previous state. And here I'm going to do like this. The previous state works like this, and timer is prev state dot timer plus one. Dot timer plus one is there. Save it, and yeah, so it is running. It is running fine. But we should also clear this thing. So we should also clear this thing. So we'll have a component will unmount will be there, and then it will be clear interval, this sort of interval. So when the component will unmounted, it will be cleared. So, and that is one of the reason we use this dot interval. So you see what I see, that this keyword is like more than a var. In whole of this class I can use this keyword at a lot of places. See, it is not bounded by this. It is ending here. It is ending. It is not bounded by that. So I can use this at a lot of places. So this dot set. That's why I took it. This dot set interval. This dot interval, not like var or something like that. Plus, in comparison, in addition to this, I can use it inside the render also. How I am going to use it inside the render? I'm going to see. I'm going to see now. So for using it inside the render, what I'm going to have a like this. And then button, okay, button I'm going to have, and clear timer I'm going to have, and then on click is equal to clear interval. And here also I can use this dot interval, and instead of clear timer, let me have the stop timer. It is a sort of a stopwatch. You can create a nice stopwatch out of this. So here also one thing to notice is that I'm using this dot interval. So I'm using it even inside the render. So this dot interval is very much required. So when I click the stop timer, it will stop. Okay, so this is how it is work. So it is working as expected because of this dot interval. Now what we are going to do? We are going to convert it into a hook timer, and that is where the problem appears. We are going to see there is one problem here. The hook timer dot js, hook timer dot js, RAFCE. Hook timer is there, and then okay, so this is there. Then first thing is that I'm going to have a state variable const timer and set timer. I don't want it to use it like this. Nobody uses it like this. Set timer is there. Then its use state is there. Then here let me have this as h1, and hook timer is only the timer. Or hook timer is only the timer. And then we are going to have a use effect in the component did mount way. Use effect in the component did mount way. Let me also have it like use effect, and then see, we don't have anything like this here, so we are forced to use the const or anything else we can use. Const interval is set interval like this, and again we are going to have something like this set timer, because we are again going to face that issue here also. So we are going to do this, and it will run after 1000 seconds. So it is like this. So this is done, and we have another thing known as the component will unmount. So that also we can do it here. So if because it is going inside, see, we are going to face no issue here. So we are going to have a return clear interval. Clear interval is like interval. So even we are not facing any issue here also. So let me copy it, paste it, save it. So hook timer is there, and it is updating correctly and all. It is updating correctly, and so but we are going to have the button now. So let us see if the button is working fine or not. And this button, stop time, and button I am again using this interval. This interval I'm using, and clear interval like this. Okay, stop timer, save it. Now here the issue is there. Interval is not defined because the interval I am using it inside the use effect. So interval is ending from here till here only. So there was no issue in the component will and mount code also, but here it is not defined. Here it is not there. So it is giving me this. So how to fix this thing? How I want to have this interval here? So this is a real case scenario. Now I have an issue. I cannot use a const, and there is no this keyword also in a functional component. So here we are going to use the refs here. Okay. So const interval ref, we can say it anything equal to use ref like this. Not user ref, it is use ref. Use ref like this. I have done. Then what will happen? Instead of this interval, I'll have interval ref dot current, and here also interval ref dot current, and here also interval ref dot current. Now this is a stopwatch, and there is no error also coming, and now I can stop it also, and it is working fine. So this is how we do in this case. Okay, so this is how do we do it in this case, and we have done this thing, and one sec. Okay, so we're done with all of those things. So what to do? Let us do some React. Just okay. Okay, so we are done with most of the thing, but we are still remain with some time. So what we are going to do now? We are going to quickly do a project because we still have some time. So let us do the tell the major concept of JavaScript required to learn React. Whatever I told in the previous week, they are the main concept. And for JavaScript React, don't learn JavaScript more than that. What I have taught in the previous thing. Don't learn more than that. Okay. So go through my previous week videos. Previous week was JavaScript week, and the main concept is ES6. ES6 is very much required in JavaScript, but JavaScript is actually a very huge thing. JavaScript required a lot of time to master. So that much time you don't, that much mastery you don't have to do, but you need to know a fair bit of JavaScript to understand React. Because see, this is arrow function. This is arrow function I'm using. This is a ES6 concept. This is a ES6 classes. This is a ES6 concept. This is a JavaScript concept. Everything is JavaScript. React and Angular both uses a lot of JavaScript. Attendances will not be given so soon. Why you ask for attendance so soon? It's only 9:12. Not even class goes till 9:30. Okay, so that is there. So let us go ahead and let us build another project. Let us do API call and quickly build a project. npx create. It's 9:13 only. Yeah, like that. You're right. npx create React app final space React. So let us build this final space API soon. I don't know, means this takes a lot of time, npx, but it will be done. So that was a good question which Hydra asked. Okay. It's okay. Let me Okay, so yeah, this is done very quickly, so that is very good that it is done so quickly. And you can see how easy it is to create a React project means. And we are going to use the final space API. So what is this final? So all of these cool APIs are available on the internet. You can do a lot of these APIs and all. Okay, so I'll close it and open it with code. Okay, npm start. Yeah, and which API endpoint we are going to use? The API endpoint which we are going to use is final space API, and here we are going to use this. Make it a bit big. Docs character endpoint we are going to use. So this endpoint gives us all this character names. So we are going to use this endpoint. Okay, so that is like this. Let me make it small again. So yeah, React app is running, and as I've told, I'm going to do it very quickly. So okay, first thing is that let us remove some of the things which is coming in build. So here I'm going to remove this, even this index also, and this also I will remove. So delete all these things, and it will give me a big error because a lot of things it is not finding. So in the index now I have to, there is no index.css anymore, so I'll remove this, I will remove this, save it, and then also it will give me error because in the app.js also I have some errors. Okay, so in the app.js I'll go here, there is no logo because I removed the logo, and rest of the things are there. Okay, app.js, okay, app.js, okay, logo is not defined because I come here, delete it, and this also I'm going to change because we are going to have a container class here. And then let me say hello world. Okay, so hello world, it is showing us hello world with very less thing is there. Okay, now I'm going to have a image, have some folders. Let us have some folders. So here I'll have in the src I will have a components folder first. Components, and in the components I'll have a header.js I'm going to have, and I'm going to have in this src only I'm going to have a img folder. Let me bring some images in it. So right click, reveal in finder, and I'll have some images. Already the images I have, so some nice images of the background, logo, spinner, a spinner image. So spinner is like this, you put the spinner logo you can put, and the spinner image will come. Okay, so this is the trick to put the spinner. Okay, so then here in the header I will have the header component, RAFCE, and in this header I'll have so this is how you use images in React. Import logo from .img, and logo.png is there. Then header and class name equal to center, and image src logo and logo. This is how we show the logo. Okay, so I'll do this, and but the header will not show because header we have to show there. Okay, even before that, let us change the app.css to have some common styling. Okay, so we don't have much time, so let me take the styling and all and put it in the app.css, which is a common place from where it will apply it everywhere. Save it, and now, so this all the background and all these things are changed, and you can go through it how I'm doing it. So in the app.js I'll go, and here in the app.js I'll just show the header component here inside the container. Let me come here, and the it's not importing. Okay, no problem, I put it by hand. Import header from components. Save it. So see, this logo has been shown. Correctly. And now we are going to do the API call. So API call, again, it is always very much easy to do the API call with the Axios, and we are going to do it with Axios only. So for that, let me install npm Axios. Okay, so it is installed. Axios is installed. So here only in the, it's a small app, so let us do something here only. And here I'm going to have a const items comma set items equal to use state, but this use state I have to import. Use state is imported, and const is loading comma set is loading is true. By default it will be true. So this loading spinner also we need to show. Okay, loading spinner we also need to show. So this container is there, and then let us get the data now. So here only we'll get after this. So this is how you can use any API from the internet. There are a lot of APIs. Please do use it and create those projects. Post it on LinkedIn, tag me, and I will tag you back, and that's why you will get the visibility. Use effect is there, then like this. One is more, and use effect will always be called in a component did mount way. So that's why we did it component did mount way, and then we'll do const fetch item. See, this time I'm going to use async await. So async await, this is another way to do it. So we use a then and catch block in the previous thing, but we can use it with async await also. This is another way. So you should know a lot of ways, but whatever you find easy, you can stick with it. Const result. And one thing I will tell, people even don't know this thing. So I take a lot of interviews, people even don't know this thing, and that's why they don't get selected. Okay, await Axios. A lot of people who are already working, they will say like that, okay, I'm not using the API endpoint at my job, so I didn't learn it. So that is like why you'll get a job then. So this await Axios is there, and then we have, let me do a console.log of result.data, and let me say, so this doesn't runs like this, and this I have to do the fetch items like this. I have to do save it, and let me go back here, inspect. Do I have that? Yeah, I have all the data from the API endpoints. So I have all the data. Just now what I have to do after this, okay, so there is this set item. I have to do this set item and all, and then we have to show it. Okay, so even before that, let us make some components, because it is not good to show it here only. We're doing the API call from the app.js. Always we need to do it from the top component. After that, we are going to show it from somewhere inside. So let us do it from there. So here I will first create a card grid.js. Card grid.js I created, and then fce card grid, and then we are going to have a card item also. Let me create that also. Card item.js, RAFCE, save it, card grid, save it. And this inside this card grid, Actually, I will get some props from the app.js which we have not yet created, but let us have that. Items, comma, is loading is like this. It will be there, and then here only the main concepts will be done. Okay, so I will have it like this, and then inside this I will have is loading. If it is question mark, then is loading is true, then what? Then I will show a h1 and loading dot dot dot. So this thing, this ternary thing also we use a lot in React. Okay, and or if it is not true, then we are going to show everything. Okay, so then I will have a section dot cards section. Okay, it is not working. Section dot cards section is not working, then it's not working. Class name equal to cards section will be there, and inside this items dot map will be there, and it will give me the item. And let me show the here. I'll show the your card item. I'll show card item and key equal to item dot id and item equal to item. So save it. Now this we have to go to this card item, and we want to show this thing. Okay, and it will take a lot of time. So let me add this card item components card item. Type this much, and I will give the attendance sheet also. Okay, now okay, so after this, okay, so card item, just it is getting the item and card and something is there, and I'm getting the item dot item image URL. So all these things, actually if you open any of the object, all these things are there, image URL and all this. If you can see it here also, all the image URL, name, species, origin, a lot of things are there, and ability and all these things are there. So I'll save it, and now let me give the attendance sheet. Okay, okay, mark your attendance. I'm giving the attendance. Okay, so I've given the attendance. Okay, so that is there, and okay, so now all of the things are here. So what we are going to do, we are going to now show it in the first place in the app.js. I'm passing something into the card grid, and the card grid I'm passing to the card item. So now in the app.js I'm going to show it. Okay, so here this console.log we are doing, so we don't want to do that, we want to show the data now. Set items is like result dot data, and set is loading is false. So by default it is true, so now it is false is there. Now here I have to show it in the card grid. So card wait, I'll do, and is loading. This is loading, and item is item. I'm going to pass, save it. See, all of the characters are coming, and our app is done. All the characters are coming, and I have this nice thing also. You can see in the CSS, this nice thing is there. So what happens? It's also responsive. It will show everything. Okay, so all these things is because of the CSS. The moment I hover over anything, it will show it, and this is one of the best. Means we've done it in such a short period and all. So if you want to see this app.css, this backface visibility hidden, so some very cool thing is there. Okay, so this is there. So you already responded, so that's why it is showing error. If there are a lot of people who needs the certificate a lot of time, so I don't understand why they will need the same certificate a lot of time, because I give the same certificate only. Already responded, everybody. Okay, is everybody is showing already responded? Let me check. Yesterday also I gave attendance 5 also. Yesterday I also gave attendance 5 only. Okay. One sec. Okay. 1 second. Maybe I have given everybody, if it is showing attended again. No, I created it with some another account. So let me see 1 minute. Okay. I think I have given this one only yesterday or what? It is 18, 17. Oh, I think by mistake I gave this one only on yesterday. Also I gave this one only. So it is like yesterday I think the 4th one should have gone, but I have given this thing. It's okay. Means if people have filled the 4th one, I'll give them the certificate. It is not like this. So don't worry. Those who filled the 4th day, I think I have given on the 4th day, also the 5th day. Sometimes this thing happens. So who have filled that time also, I will give them certificate. It is not like that. Okay, so I can see I'm opening this. I think I've given it yesterday also, because I can see Shrey and all this all of you have filled it yesterday also. So I think by mistake I gave this one only yesterday. So it's okay, don't worry, I'll give all of you also. Okay, so I have that data in the Excel sheet. Okay, so with this I'll end today's stream here, and we will meet again next week. I'm thinking Next.js and Redux, both of those things will be there. Both of them are very much used in React. React doesn't end here. Means it is React is a very small library, and it doesn't end here. A lot of other things which is necessary in React, and one of them is the Redux, which is almost necessary. Means every interview you'll go, Redux will be asked. And Next.js is the latest things in React which is required, because the server side rendering thing is there, and that is very much used nowadays. And if you have knowledge of Next.js, the job chances get increased a lot. So with this I'll end today's stream, and we'll meet tomorrow. If you have any friends and all, tomorrow at 3 p.m. IST we have that web development workshop, 3 hours workshop. So if you have any friends, please do tell them to attend that, and we'll meet then tomorrow that 3 hour workshop. I will see you all there, and then force on Monday. Thank you. Good night.